Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and in this one we are going to be testing the GeForce RTX 3070 Ti in Doom, the Dark Ages, and we have the Asus ROG Strix model of the card, the OC variant, and here are all the specs of the GPU. We got the latest NVIDIA driver 576.40, which is the game-ready driver for Doom, the Dark Ages. Resizable bar is also enabled inside BIOS. Over here in Task Manager, we have the Intel Core i7-13700K CPU. For memory, we got 64GB of DDR5, 6000 megatransfers per second, CL36, and finally for MSI Afterburner, no overclocks are applied, everything is set to stock settings. So let's get inside the game and check out the frame rates. So here we are inside the menu, guys. We are starting this off with 1080p resolution, and FOV is set to 105, chromatic aberration is turned off, fill grain is turned off as well. For upscaling, we have DLAA, DLSS, FSR, and XeSS. We're gonna start this with DLAA and then try DLAA afterwards. And got the music, I just love this. And motion blur is turned off, and everything else is pretty much maxed out. That is the ultra nightmare settings. And also the texture pool size, we have set it to 2 gigs or 2048, and as you can see, the VRAM usage here is almost like maxing out. We have 8 GB, and some of it is being probably utilized by Windows, most likely. That's why it shows 6895 here. That's what I'm guessing. So let's get inside and check it out. Now I am in this second level or the second chapter right now. I'm trying this with this GPU, and as you can see, we're getting around that 60 FPS. Let me start counting the frame rate there. And yeah, with 1080p it kind of looks blurry slightly. I mean, using TAA. Oh, there's so many out here. I don't really like the glory kills in this game. They look pretty ordinary there. And that stutter was there because I just reduced the volume there. That's why it made that stutter over there. But overall, very smooth gameplay though. Look at the frame time, it's pretty smooth. Won't really notice any problem. Throw my shield there. More guys with the shields. And we are getting an average of 60 FPS. Pretty early to judge that. Let's go ahead and continue for a bit more and then see what happens to the performance. And is my recording lagging there? I mean, seems like. Well, apparently for some reason my recording was lagging there in OBS, so I just fixed it right now. It should be better overall. Not sure what was happening. But anyways, let's keep on fighting these bad guys or these demons. And as I was saying previously, your shield is your best friend in this game. The weapons are there just as secondary things to assist you, pretty much. Let's take him out. And we're getting an average of 58 right now because there's much more going on screen. A lot more enemies to fight. But either ways, it's still playable even with the FPS dropping below 50 at times. And by the way, if you hear any noise behind me, it's coming from outside because of some construction work going on. This is daytime I'm recording. I generally don't record in daytime, but I have a lot of GPUs to test, so I have to do it whenever I have time. And overall, it's playing pretty nicely. As you can see, the 1% low also is pretty good. 44. More enemies here. And the game is not that demanding on the CPU either, by the way. And with max settings, as you can see, it's running pretty flawless. Let's try changing some settings now and check it out. What we can do is now turn on DLAA and try that and see the difference. I apply that. With DLAA, you probably, I think, lose like 1 or 2 FPS here and there from TAA. But overall, I think, yeah, it looks much more sharper overall than TAA. But it's not a big deal. or big change anyway. Even if you use DLAA, it should be fine. Bash him and get the glory kill on him. So yeah guys, with DLAA also, as you can see, it's pretty much the same experience overall, just like with TAA. And yeah, if you want a little bit more sharpness in the image, I would recommend you use DLAA overall. Let us now use DLSS Qlty on top of 1080p resolution. You also have a sharpness slider right here. You can use that to increase the sharpness, which I strongly recommend you do, otherwise it looks very blurry by default. And right now with Qlty DLSS, we're getting 70 plus FPS. Gonna skip the cutscene if I can. I can't. Smack his head. And the music volume, by the way, I have turned it a bit down intentionally, otherwise it's very loud. You won't even be able to hear me otherwise. One more. Love the kick there. There we go. All clear? No. And now we're getting 70 FPS average, guys. Pretty good overall. And quite playable like this. And with the image being a little bit more blurry because of Qlty DLSS. And right now inside here it's dropping a bit, the FPS. Because there's a lot more NPCs over here. Maybe that's why we're having a CPU bottleneck right now. Slightly, not much.
Facilities are under lockdown.
And it will be interesting to see this card, how this performs at 1440p resolution. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch this preset from Ultra Nightmare to something else. And right now we're getting 48, 49 FPS with Ultra Nightmare. This is basically maxed out native 1080p. So I'm gonna change this to where is it? To high preset and see the difference. Apply this. Now we are still getting the same FPS, maybe even less. We're getting 47 now instead of 48 and 49. It's basically the same performance you're gonna get, even if you change any settings preset. I don't know if it's working or not. And by the way, this is the Game Pass version of the game, so yeah, keep that in mind. But yeah, I don't see any difference by changing the preset. But there is difference in terms of visual quality though. There is some difference you can notice. But in terms of performance, no. So you are better off just stick to Ultra Nightmare settings preset and you should be good to go overall. Don't need to use medium or high or any of these. Still getting, so we're still getting below like 60 FPS. Unfortunately, we cannot get 60 plus natively at 1080p. That is a shame with the 3070 Ti, unfortunately. But yeah, this game has inbuilt ray tracing and it's gonna get a path tracing update also after the launch of the game officially. This is in early access, by the way. So up next, guys, I'm switching to 1440p resolution. As you can see, the VRAM usage is over the recommended already, and we are using DLAA right now, and with a high settings preset, and the texture pool size is set to the lowest. All it can go 1536, as you can see, because we don't have enough VRAM to work with. And we are back again in the second chapter, and we are getting around 49, 48 frames. I mean, not bad, it's pretty decent, but I think during fights it's gonna drop harder, maybe like 30-ish frames per second. We'll see soon enough. There we go, took them out. One more. Yeah, it's quite laggy like this. I would not recommend you play it this way. and maybe we need to use some upscaling to make it playable somewhat, and we might even get 60 FPS with DLSS quality. We'll see what happens. Toss that in. There we go. It dropped to 39 there, as you can see, but it's not like you cannot play it this way. It's pretty much playable. It's just not so smooth like it was at 1080p at 1080p resolution. But let's enable some quality DLSS and see what happens. We are getting like 44 FPS right now, so if I enable DLSS quality, see the jump, and the recommended VRAM usage has also dropped. So from 44, come on, stop hitting me, getting around 58. That's a decent jump there. And also talking about the high settings preset, I'm also gonna try this with Ultra Nightmare, see if there's any difference whatsoever. And I don't think there will be, because high or Ultra Nightmare, they all look the same and they perform the same almost in terms of FPS. Forgot to turn on the counter there. But as you can see, close to 60 FPS, sometimes it touches 60 also. Where's my shredder gun? Not this. Yeah, this one. Love this skull gun. This gun keeps on shooting skulls. There we go. And VRAM is well under the recommended, as you can see already. Toss that, maybe on that one. Why is it not going? Still quite laggy, as you can see the frame time graph constantly going up and down. It's not smooth, but it's better than native, obviously. Okay, let's try this with Ultra Nightmare. I'm gonna stand here. We're getting 60 FPS pretty much. So if I switch this to like Ultra Nightmare now, if I switch it up, will it make any difference? The FPS. Yes, it does. Like 3 frames, 3-4 FPS. That's not a big deal, to be honest. It is still running pretty good. Now it's dropping more, below like 50, a lot more. But yeah, in terms of visual quality, it's not a big difference. So you can just stick to high settings if you want. Get those extra 3 or 4 FPS, and you should be good overall. Hack all of these guys. Go. Now we are averaging around 54, and maybe because we are in the inside, that's we are getting slightly more frame rate. That might be the case. We go outside now and then check it out. What happens? It might drop a bit more. We'll see. It's still the same, around 54, 55. Not much difference. It is definitely dropping a lot more out here, but not by much. So gonna be a third one. These are the Hell Knights, right? As you can see, it's definitely playable like this. But I'll try DLSS performance now, and obviously in this area it's a bit more CPU bound. That's why the FPS kind of drops in here. Now I'm gonna try this with quality or performance DLSS. Let's apply this Ultra Nightmare settings. See if we can stay above 60. Not in this area, it's kind of CPU heavy with lots of NPCs doing their thing. but I still do not think we can stay above 60 FPS
Command room has the key.
or get any close. I need to bring that guy over here, maybe toss him in there, so that gate will open up. I'm gonna try this, hold on. Dodge all his attacks there. Whoa. Just... how do I toss him in there? I don't know. Anyway. It's pretty much the same experience. It's still a laggy mess. Just like it was with DLSS Qlty. It's just the same overall. No difference. Get that thing break down. But you can definitely play it at 1440p. It's not like you cannot. And finally, for just the sake of this video, I'm trying this at 4K resolution using DLSS performance, and everything is set to low, which is the low preset. Texture pool size is set to lowest already. Let's try this out. We are well, like slightly below the VRAM recommended VRAM usage there, so it should be a little bit smooth experience. Should not be that much laggy overall. And yeah, it definitely runs smooth like this. But this is with the lowest settings preset. And I don't really, it's very hard to like notice the difference between low and ultra nightmare in this game in terms of visuals. It all looks the same. Maybe the textures, yeah, they look kind of bad. Other than that, I don't know. I'll have a hard time telling any difference between the different presets of the graphic settings. We're dropping into high 40s there. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. Low preset. Smack him out there. Yeah, very playable at 4K with low settings with performance DLSS. And this has DLSS 4 support, so it looks even better, that's why, with performance DLSS. Yeah, these things, they don't look too nice on low settings, the textures on them. So that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Do leave a like if you enjoyed, or if this video helped you. Also make sure to subscribe if you are new, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Till then, take care and bye bye.